There's nothing I love more than when brands collab. I mean, it really is exciting to see two things you love, or maybe even just two random things, come together to create a limited time product or concoction. And within that world of brand collabs, I want to talk today specifically about some of the most weird, iconic, and wild cereal brand collaborations. So today, sit back as we look back into some of the funkiest cereal collabs. Let's start with the reason I even wanted to make this video. Recently, I was perusing the web trying to figure out if the Dunkin mocha cereal still existed. And to my disappointment, it doesn't. But back in 2020, Post decided to team up with Dunkin to release two Dunkin themed flavors, using real Dunkin coffee in the cereal itself. They were released on National Cereal Day in 2020 and came in two flavors, Mocha Latte and Caramel Macchiato. The reason those two flavors were chosen were, well, because they're the two most popular orders. Each cereal came with their own marshmallow bits as well, because, well, that just seems to be the norm nowadays. And similar to how chocolatey cereal turns your milk into chocolate as you're eating it, this cereal would turn your milk into a coffee flavored milk. Pretty cool if you ask me. And even though they seemed to be a huge hit with consumers, they would ultimately start being pulled off store shelves around mid-2024. I also found out while doing research for this video that Dunkin actually had an even older cereal that originally came out in the 80s. Let me know if you'd want to see us talk about that here on the channel. But let's switch from Post to Kellogg for a minute though, and talk about the Peeps cereal that was released for the Easter season of 2019. And yeah, I know, Peeps are controversial or whatever, but hot take, I've always kinda liked them. I know, sue me. The cereal would come in bright multicolored Peep shaped and flavored flakes, as well as Peep flavored marshmallows, obviously. These ones would not be so loved, however. While most people actually enjoyed the marshmallow flavored part of it, they were also heavily criticizing the real cereal part for losing all of its structural integrity within minutes of being added to the milk, as well as the milk itself becoming way too overpowering and sweet if you let it sit for even just a minute too long. It seems that Kellogg's decides to bring these back every now and then, as the last time they were seen in stores was for the 2023 Easter season. So I guess I'll have to wait and hope that they bring them back again so I can try them and give them my own review. Now let's get into some more weird territory. In 2018, Post decided to team up with a rather strange partner for a cereal collab, and that would be Sour Patch Kids. The cereal was released for a short time, with it kind of being a hard one to find, people said. Alas though, the cereal came in a pretty colored bright box with the cereal bits looking like, well, Sour Patch Kids. They smelled exactly like the candy. But the taste? That was a different story. People would say the cereal just tasted like Fruit Loops, but with less fruit flavor and sugar, and instead a more citric acid taste. And yes, I know what you're thinking. And the answer is, yeah, sadly, it does turn the milk sour. And not sour like curdled, but just sour like it just tastes funky and not right. Not to mention, a lot of people reviewing it would talk about how weird it was to be crunching down on Sour Patch Kids when they're normally that rubbery, gummy texture. Most people would just end up chalking it up to a gimmick, and eventually it just died out within stores. But if you thought that was weird, wait till you hear about what Kellogg's did to rival this. Jolly Rancher cereal. Released just a couple years later in 2020, this cereal would obviously intend to take the beloved Jolly Rancher brand and mix it with milk. However, due to having the advantage of seeing a Sour Patch Kids cereal come and go, they got to come in with a different approach. Instead of trying to replicate that sour tanginess of a Jolly Rancher, the cereal aimed to just take the fruit flavors out of them and, well, that's it, just use those. The cereal bits looked like the classic Jolly Ranchers, and based on reviews, they actually held up pretty well in milk, holding their texture and crunch for a decent time. For some reason though, they decided not to put watermelon in, but added all the other original flavors. However, this was not the new Reese's Puffs like they were hoping it would be though, and these would be pulled off store shelves just about a year after their release. Now these have all been fun cereals, but what about when it flips and the cereal lends its brand to somebody else? Well, that's what happened when in September of 2024, Cinnamon Toast Crunch would team up with Hormel to recreate their signature thick cut bacon but rubbed down in that iconic Cinnamon Toast Crunch dust. And while Cinnamon Toast Crunch is no stranger to lending their name out, and we could probably have a whole video just deep diving into those products honestly, let me know if you'd want to see that. This one to me is really just different in a way that it's like silly but actually kind of works. With the classic mix of sweet and savory, it really just hits for me. But not everyone likes the bacon, with some reviewers describing the flavor as underwhelming or even off-putting. with some people likening it to a reheated ham. Another common complaint was that the cinnamon sugar coating on the bacon made it hard to cook evenly, as the outside would burn fairly quickly, leaving the inside more chewy and rubbery. But even so, that wouldn't stop this thing from being sold in Walmarts right now. Which brings us to today, where just this past July, they decided to switch up the action here. And now, this bacon has become so popular that they made a Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon flavored cereal, which is meant to replicate the Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored bacon. Yeah, kind of a mindfuck, I know. But now you get to have the flavor of the bacon without cooking the bacon, and you get the refreshingness of the bowl of milk, which honestly to me just sounds like they added liquid smoke to Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but hey, I'm no genius. I haven't seen many reviews on them yet since they're so new, but popular snack food creator Snackolator got to try them early and described them as pretty much what you'd expect. A classic Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor with some rich smokiness you'd get from bacon. He did add it to milk and said it was okay, but still ended up giving it an overall 5 out of 10. And well, that's all I got for you guys today. There are a ton of more weird brand crossovers that have happened within the cereal world, so if you guys ended up being really interested in this topic, let me know and we can make more. Or if you want to see some other brand collabs from other different products, categories, yada yada, also feel free to let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hey, maybe even share this video with a fellow cereal lover or somebody who you know just likes brand collabs like this. And I will see you guys in another video. Peace.